Hey, welcome to Thanksgiving week, everybody. I'm Jared Smithson. I'm a COPE certified health coach. And today I want to talk to you about two things that are really important to our health. Number one is a plan. We've had a couple of videos and a couple of posts about having a plan so far. I want to talk to you about a plan in a little bit different way, and how critical it is as part of our plan to have support. First of all, whenever we have a plan, it's really good that we write that plan down and we tell that plan to somebody else for additional accountability. Know that when you have a plan, even though you have a plan, you're going to have a lot of thoughts going through your head, and it's easy for those plans to crumble sometimes. Just an interesting study that I recently read about language. The average adult speaks between about 150 and 200 words per minute. In this language study that they performed, they also studied how fast we speak in self-talk, and it was crazy to me. The average adult was speaking between 1,300 and 1,500 words per minute in self-talk. So that those conversations, the monologues and dialogues and however many different personalities we have going on inside of our brains, inside of our head, is just the sheer volume of words that we're speaking to ourselves can be overwhelming. So in those times where we're kind of fighting with ourselves about, hey, do I stick to my plan? Do I really want health, or do I want this famous aunt's pumpkin pie or whatever on Thanksgiving Day? Those decisions are coming down based on what you really want versus what you feel like, driven by true desires, long-term desires, rather than a current emotion or feeling. So what I want to speak to you is about support. Jim Rohn said that we are the average of the 5 closest people that we spend the most time with. So I'm not telling people, hey, don't spend time with those family and friends this week that have poor health habits. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that we can start the change. Buddha said, be the change you want to see in the world. So be that change this week. It's really critical that we know who our supporters are in our desires, especially with health. And that too, on speaking of support, that we're supportive of other people. So Harvey Mackay said this, and a lot of people have heard this over and over. The quality of our life is determined by the quality of our relationships. So I've never heard stories about people at the end of life who said that their money was the most important thing, that food was the most important thing. They always talk about their relationships and who their most cared people were, or who they lacked in life. So make this week about relationships. When you feel like you're overrunning with that self-talk and maybe the volume of the words in your head is overwhelming you, whether you really want to stick to your plan or not, slow down and have verbal conversations. Create greater quality in your life by creating greater quality in your relationships. So your homework for today, in the comments, we want you to comment, number one, if you have a plan. You can put a few details about your plan if you'd like, and one person, and if they're in this group, tag them so that they know that they're part of your support team. And one person, and if you don't want to disclose their full name or anything, just put a first name, who's part of your support. And then later this week, we'll remind you when. And if you do that, everybody who comments today will be entered into a drawing for a prize this week. And then later this week, you'll get a second entry if you, when we remind you that you just stuck to your plan. Okay? So be grateful this week. Focus on the relationships. This is one of my favorite weeks of the year because it really, really kicks off the holiday season and our opportunities to really create better relationships with our loved ones. So be grateful this week. Have a great week. Have your plan and know who your support is, and be a support to others.